Hello everyone, welcome to Fish Lair Freshwater. Today is not going to be as much of a fishing video as much as like an informative video. This one's just to keep people updated on the situation we have at this lake right here, Timberland Lake in Albany, that I'm sure lots of you, especially if you're a local angler, have fished here or at least know this place. So it's just right off I-5 and in Albany, an hour away from where I live. So basically, situation is in early March of this year, March 2nd, I went and fished here. Day was really slow. We ended up catching that one giant trout that day, which was good for us, I guess. But the issue was that I saw some small ripples on the top of the water, which I assumed to be bluegill. And sometimes it's best to catch some small fish rather than get the skunk, right? So I set up a small hook and a piece of worm and I cast in that area. Lo and behold, guess what happened? Water went down, small fish came up, not a bluegill. So posted it onto my fish brain over here on March 2nd, as you can see here, of this fish. In the comment section, people say consensus is shad, but some people say, other stuff. I did some research on myself, and I thought it was actually a pea mouth, because if you look at a pea mouth, it kind of looks similar to the fish, maybe a bit long. Like if you look at pictures like this, it actually kind of looks a lot like it. So that being mine, I didn't think very much of it until they started schooling up, like massive, massive swarms of these things. So fast forward to now. Here's my fish brain. Yesterday, we went fishing at Timberland again. Caught a ton of good green sunfish, including my personal best here. Not very big, but yeah. Also caught this sculpin, which was a rare catch. Didn't expect that, but always nice to catch a rare species. And also one trout too. And so this guy says it's shad. Someone put one in and they keep reproducing. Which now that makes sense because I don't think pea mouth are the type of fish that go very small like this and go in massive schools. So that means someone must have put in a shad or a few shad into Timberland Lake at some time because in the past there have never been shad in this lake. Whoever did this, that is not going to be just done. Highly illegal, bad for the ecosystem, but there is some okay news to this, I guess. That is, these shad, they're super easy to catch. Just get a small, tiny hook, put a tiny piece of worm on them. You can catch 20 of them in 10 minutes. So I think what I recommend with most people is that if you're going there and fishing for trout, especially on a slow day, just try to fish out as many of these as possible, even though it may not make that much of an impact. It does do good for the ecosystem, and you're also removing biomass, and which helps with the carrying capacity, and also um you get free bait or free compost or cut bait or crayfish bait, whatever you want to use them for, to catch other fish. And I know for sure you can use these small shad as bait, and they make really good bait. So if you're ever fishing here, just please do your part and take a few of these fish to just try to slow down the overpopulating of the fish. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Timberland and the situation, but hopefully it does get better and we see an improvement in the population of shad and declines to a somewhat safe level. But yeah, it is quite concerning to our ecosystem as a whole. That's what I'm leaving here with. that thought.
Wait, so let me make this clear. Fisher, first back here. So a shed are illegal stockings, right?
Yeah, it's illegal to put new fish somewhere without the permission of ODFW.
So ODFW didn't actually put it in there.
Well, why would they put shad into this lake? I mean, they would have probably told someone, or like
And
something happened.
another like a super weird thing is that you caught a sculpin,
Yeah, other people have caught a few sculpin too. There.
and I
Yeah.
mean sculpins should be pretty. I don't think it's natural to a lake, is it? Because sculpins usually live in to
No,
my knowledge, they only live in Willamette River.
well, maybe. Wait, that might also be a bit concerning too. I actually
Yeah.
don't know if their sculpins are natural to the lake or not because I haven't fished here for that long, but to my knowledge, at least we know the shad are invasive to this lake.
So
Sculpin,
I think you should file like not like file a complaint, but like write stuff into the ODFW to like
yeah, we should
talk about.
Yeah, we should definitely alert someone about this. So right now, Shad definitely is something's going wrong there. Sculpin, we don't know. I think it's fine because the Sculpin are like native to this area. They might have just went in somehow. But yeah, the Shad is definitely a major point of concern.
So Albert, to your knowledge, except for trout in the area, and what other species that have you caught over the years that are like natural to lake?
Me and other people I know,
Yeah,
we've
to your
caught lots
knowledge.
of species like bass, bluegill. I caught some green sunfish over here today. I think there are some bullhead and catfish in there, and there's also some natural suckers. And that should be all the fish there are in this lake.
Well, so here is I just went on a website called Oregon Fishing Report. Apparently they just only said that it has bluegill, largemouth bass, and rainbow trout. So I don't know what's up with the lake, because usually, to my knowledge, stocked lakes like stock trout lakes in the area, they only like stock rainbow trout and like a decent amount of largemouth bass, a bunch of bluegill to help maintain the balance between largemouth bass and bluegill, and sometimes like St. Louis ponds, they kind of stock some channel cats. So I don't know if like how like did those sculpins and shad got in there. It's very weird.
I think the sculpins could still be natural because this is like one of the newer spots I fished in, and you never know, sculpin could still be there. But we do know for sure that shad, you know how shad are definitely much less elusive than sculpin. Sculpin like hide in the deep areas and hide undercover a lot because they like to camouflage and stuff. But the shad they just school up everywhere, and someone must have noticed if they were here last summer, but everyone claims to say they aren't here, including some other YouTubers in the area that I know. So that's why we think that the shad are introduced, but the sculpin maybe not.
Yeah. So also I kind of just want to know that shad American shad is what the shad is, what the shad Albert caught and has been inhabiting Timberland Lake in the past 2 months, I guess. So basically, they are plankton, insect, and crustacean eaters, which basically means that they're competing food with the bluegills. Am I correct, Albert?
Yeah, basically.
And what that would do is that would lead well, I don't think that would definitely lead a decline in the bluegill population because we're competing for food. But would that really affect the bass? Because bass eat both shad and bluegill.
But still, it's not good for the overall balance of the ecosystem.
I mean, it definitely would be an intrusive species, but how harmful would it be? To what extent would it be super harmful? Because as far as I can see, except for stock trout, since stock trout won't eat anything in the lake because it's being fed to eat most like farm trout, like what, like pellets? Am I correct? They
Yeah.
basically won't really eat any like they won't prey on any fish in the lake, so they don't really like have competition with other fish in the area. And because except for brood trout, they can't really reproduce, so they also won't be a huge like contribution to like overpopulation in the area. So as far to the native, I only know that largemouth bass, channel cats, I think they would both eat shad. So I don't know how like it would definitely like bluegills might and other warmouth species would definitely decline. And what do you think, Albert?
Yeah, I think you're neglecting the bigger problem here, and that is like just the bluegill kind of have established themselves in this place since people have introduced them a long time ago, and also panfish, actually stuff that we fish for. These fish they stunt themselves because they're all this 2 inch range. They are of zero value as food, whereas panfish you can actually keep a few sustainably and eat them, fry them up, and
So yeah,
they're just going to
what are we
occupy the entire
here?
biomass.
Basically, St. Louis pond situation, right? There's too much these little primary consumers that they just go build us so much that they just crowd out the ecosystem. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, and they're going to basically take if we don't do anything, they're basically going to crowd out all the bluegill, and there's it's just going to ruin a warm water fishery because there's just going to be so many of these people, and the ecosystem can only handle a certain amount of biomass.
Yeah, so I heard that you mentioned earlier that just taking out as many of these to help the ecosystem as you can, it definitely would be a good idea. But what are some other alternate solutions to this problem? Because it's not
You,
really effective by just hand fishing them.
well, someone out there just ruined this fishery basically for warm water fishermen, and as a panfish angler myself, I see that we have to do something to combat this. Otherwise, so species such as that green sunfish, people won't be able to catch in the future. And so, even if we just need to do some way to like catch them, I would recommend that the Department of Fish and Wildlife just straight up uses cast nets and just catches like hundreds of them. But as of right now, cast nets are illegal for like us to use in Oregon, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, we
Yeah, so
definitely need to do something.
multi-species fishermen, both you and I, it's really fun to go after new species and different species. If that body of water only has one species and that is shad, it would really suck for the multi-species fishermen. Am I right?
Yeah.
Do you agree on that?
Yeah.
So you still think that the best solution would be to inform the Oregon Fish and Wildlife Services?
Yeah, we definitely need to talk to them about the situation.
Wait, but haven't they noticed when they're stocking trout to the lake? Because I'm pretty sure it's been a problem for a while.
Not really, because the first reason is that they don't usually stock the place and where usually the shad school up. And the second is that usually it's not ODFW that does the stocking. They hire these individual contractors that do so. Like I saw stalking once and it wasn't ODFW who did it. It was like some fish hatcheries that did.
I see. So just like shoot an email to like one of the offices or get a phone call. That
Yeah.
would be a best. So Albert, any fishing tips in the area?
Well, so far, secret spot for green sunfish. Kind of don't wanna, yeah, kind of don't want to give that one away just yet.
Yeah,
But
Albert, just share as much as you can. We are not gonna make you give away secret spots on here.
yeah, there is definitely one good spot in Timberland Lake. I'll give you that. That's has a big school of green sunfish down there. At least when I fish there. Um, just have to look out for that tiny spot, and yeah, just
If this video gets
try.
100 likes in 24 hours, we will make Albert reveal his secret spot. Albert, you agree with
Wow,
that?
sure. More
Okay.
like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we can't let Albert get his secret spot out. Okay. So it's definitely somewhere on the lake. So just keep fishing, and I guess you'll just find it, huh?
Yeah.
What about any tips and tricks for the season?
Well, for trout wise, I think the temperature is definitely starting to play a major factor in how the trout fishing is. Because we went in the early afternoon because our entire family went out that day, and we kind of went late because it's just not as the same as just me and my dad. So it was more like early afternoon fishing and like noon fishing, which is why it was pretty darn slow for trout. Seems like they've become more lethargic during this time because of the warm weather. So, and yeah, people recently have caught their limit real quick if they've been fishing in the morning or late afternoon. So yeah, we went at the wrong time. So I guess if the temperature continues to warm up, which I don't think it'll have next week, just remember fish during the lower light hours when the water temperature and air temperature is cooler.
And Albert, you mentioned to me on DMing Instagram that you saw a big bass, huh?
Yeah.
They definitely have come out. And this does not just apply for Timberland Lake. Like I was fishing last Wednesday at Rogers Landing Park. I have found that warm water species has been like very active these days when as the weather warms up. Am I is it the same in Timberland Lake? Do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely been lots more aggression. I think the green sunfish, they bite real hard by nature, but I have yet to see like multiple bass or like anyone catch a bass this season.
So any reason to that? Is it because they're just super finicky, they don't bite, or what?
Probably just not that many, and most people target trout there.
So what have you tried? Because honestly, because it sucks in Oregon, we can't use any live bait. Do you think bluegill heads would work or cut bait?
Yeah, I think the shad, they're super sensitive to heat. So, like you can just or like when you catch them, you can just bonk them out and like get a circle hook, a smaller circle hook, and just try that in the water. I think that may work.
Speaking of which, Albert, how do you knock your fish out?
Well, trout, you see that big concrete pad at Timberland? Just go bonk. No need for a stick. Sticks are for noobs.
Because I just found out like a super good way to bunk bluegill heads. Because their head is super curved, you know. So basically, you hold them upside down. Usually, when you hold a bluegill, you hold it right side up. You hold it upside down, and you just smash the curve of a head right against like a flat surface. I just figured out this super easy way to kill bluegills that day, because we were
Or you
flopping
could
around and
just cut the
like,
gills.
well, I mean, you have to get a hold of them, and they keep spiking your hand, so that was super annoying. And like just smashing them on the ground wasn't that effective either. They just kept flopping. So that was interesting. And I mean, rocks work good too, Albert. You think so?
Yeah, yeah. From now on, if I ever go to Timberland again, I'm not letting these shad go. I'm keeping
Yeah.
them.
Just Well, can you eat them? I think you can fry them. You could try.
Potentially, but I don't think that tastes very good. I think for crayfish, I might just carry my crayfish net up to one of those big lakes near Mount Hood and like put a bunch of them in the crayfish net and try to catch them, or just maybe go somewhere else along the Willamette, set it down, try to catch one while I'm fishing.
Yeah, Albert, if you catch soup a lot next time, just give it to me. I could
Yeah.
stock them up. And maybe I'll try to find a recipe that actually tastes good. I'll try. You like catfish and carp, just like bite your head off. That's like eat them raw.
Yeah, best way to dispatch the shad is just bite the head off.
Yeah, best way to eat them raw. And I think that's it for today, Albert. You think so?
Yeah, that's it for today.
Yeah, I think we've covered up pretty much everything we wanted to cover on this channel, and maybe elaborate a little more on the shad situation, which we think is still worth it because it's definitely like a problem that we should take notice of. It's very affecting the warm water population there, and it's definitely ruining the ecosystem. So we definitely need to take action in that. And otherwise, today, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching this, and we're going out. Bye,
Yeah.
y'all.
Bye.